back to Lifestyle of More. I'm Ash, and you know what? On this channel, you and I, we love talking all things related to more food, more travel, and of course, more life. If this is your very first time on my channel, welcome. Thank you so very much for giving your girl a chance, okay? By clicking the little thumbnail, being like, what's she talking about? Okay, if you are a loyal LOMer, you done been here, honey, you done seen the growth. You see the growth. You see the growth. If you are a loyal LOMer, thank you guys so much for constantly coming on back to the channel. And I just love you guys so much. I love the comments. I love the outreach. I love the support. I love the likes. I see the notification bells turning on. Y'all are loyal. I love y'all. And I just want to say a warm welcome to all of the new subscribers that I've gotten since my last video. You guys, we are almost at 300 subscribers. I can barely believe it because I literally just got started like a month ago. You guys are the reason for that exponential success. So thank you guys so much for constantly sharing, liking, commenting, and watching the videos. So of course I talked about more life, more food, more travel. So this particular video today, you guys, we're gonna be diving a little bit deeper into the more life mantra. And the more life mantra is a way of being, a way of thinking, a way of carrying yourself, a way of speaking, a way of acting, a way of walking. So this particular mantra is really for anyone who wants to have a healthy me versus me mentality, always looking to self-elevate, always looking to push, always looking to have these progressive actions and progressive thoughts towards whatever goals they want. So the more life mantra is truly all about being your best self, living your best life, being the best you that you can be, doing what only you can do the best, being the best at whatever you do, giving your all at everything you do. So the more life mantra is truly all encompassing of that. So today we're going to be digging a little bit deeper into the more life mantra. This video, if you have a career, you love your career, you don't have a career, you want to grow in the career, this video is definitely for you. So if you guys know anyone who is interested in growing their career, positive, actionable, proven steps to get you to the next level, then make sure you guys share this video. I come out with new videos every Monday and Friday, so make sure you guys turn on those little notifications after you subscribe. That way you never miss another More Monday or Friday again. So today we're going to be specifically talking about how to excel in your career. We're talking about exposure. We're talking about six-figure pay. We're talking about promotions. We're talking about leadership. Okay, we're talking about all of that. How do you get it? How do you get it? And I'm asking that specific question because I have heard so many people saying that they are in their careers and they haven't grown, and they've been there for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and they've really only made lateral moves. You guys, if we are living the more life mantra and just overall self-elevation and wanting to improve ourselves all of the time, then that particular situation is not going to cut it. So here's the thing. When you go up for a promotion, hopefully you do. If you haven't been up for a promotion, I'm going to tell you guys how to do that too. But if you are going up for a promotion and across the decision maker's desk comes your name with that promotion and all the job responsibilities and highlights and all that good stuff, you do not want this decision maker to ask two things. And I have literally broken down how to mitigate these two questions by just 4 steps. So what are those 2 questions? What do you think those 2 questions are? Those 2 questions are who and why. If your name comes across this decision maker's desk for this promotion and they are asking who and why, we know we got to go back to square one, because who and why doesn't really speak to the reputation that you and I are wanting to live with the whole more life mantra. This is all about pushing yourself. So disclaimer, this video is not for the weak. This video is not for the lazy. This video is probably for the unmotivated. This video is for anyone who likes to think outside of the box, go the extra mile, and have self-responsibility. This video is not for people who do not take ownership or have self-responsibility. It's just not. So now that we've got those disclaimers out of the way, let's get started. There are 4 ways that you and I can mitigate the who, why question whenever our name comes across the desk for these promotions in our career. Let's start excelling. So these 4 particular steps are in order of importance, okay? So I'm gonna start off at number 4, and then of course the last one, number 1, will be what I feel is the most important step for making sure that you are promoted in your job and that you are being elevated and that you are getting 6-figure pay and yearly promotions and all that good stuff, okay? Before we get started really quickly in this video, I kind of want to give you guys just a little bit of background about myself professionally. I currently work for the global leader in medical technology, where I am in the cardiac space, okay? So I am in medical device. I absolutely love the career. I've only been with the company about 4 years and I've already received 3 promotions. So if you do the math, that is a promotion a year roughly, understanding that one particular year, really a year and a half, was all training. So I have moved very quickly in this particular company. I have goals to move even more quickly and to elevate even further. But every single job that I have encountered, I have really been promoted several times and have achieved multiple awards. I don't say any of this to be a flex. I don't say any of this to be a brag. I'm telling you guys that I've literally been putting these 4 steps, these 4 actionable steps into play for each particular position that I've had. So like I said, I've been in the medical technology space for a little over 4 years now. But before that, I was a part of the telefunding sales, you know, like whenever your alum calls you, hi, would you like to support Georgia State University with them? Yes, I would love to give $100. Okay, so that was me. That was me in college making the phone calls. And then once I graduated, that particular company asked me to come on board to be a manager and to basically travel throughout the different colleges, all here in the United States, to teach other students how to make money over the phone. Now, why in the world would I go into that? How in the world did I get into that? It's because I did my best when I was in undergrad, made a lot of money for the university, and that gave me the exposure for headquarters to call me once I graduated. So here's the thing. I'm always going to be putting my best foot forward in every single position that I carry. But I keep these 4 nuggets in mind when I think about elevation, when I think about promotions, when I think about awards, when I think about 6-figure pay. I think about these 4 nuggets, okay? 4. This is no secret recipe. This is no, complicated formula. These are 4 items that I've literally used to win several awards across multiple different positions that I've had, including the current position that I have, obtaining 3 different promotions in 4 years. I'm telling you guys it works. I'm telling you guys to trust. I love to mobilize with other boss queens and boss kings. So y'all let me know how you're motivating yourself in your position and how you've been elevating yourself, because your girl want to know. So understanding that these are ranked in level of importance, right? So number 4 is going to be important, right? But not as important as number 1. So number 4 is get involved. Get involved. Does your company or organization have an ERG? An ERG is an employee resource group. So I know for my particular organization, we have one for people of Asian descent, for people of African descent, for people of Hispanic descent. We have also a niche group for just women. So whatever that is in your organization, especially if you work for like a global leader of any, especially if you work for a company that's being traded and that's a public company, and you guys are likely gonna have ERGs. You may have to search for them. You may have to email somebody, you may have to call HR, but the opportunities are there. Get involved in your ERG. Are there any other departments within your company or organization where you can show cross-functionality in working with them? So you have to get involved. So for instance, I am involved with 2 different ERGs in the particular company that I work for now. What you want to make sure that you do is that you expose yourself to other departments and that you expose yourself to other people that maybe you would not have even come in contact with within your organization had you not joined the ERG, had you not reached out to accounting when you work in marketing, had you not reached out to R&D when you work in sales. You want to make sure that people see you as cross-functional and cross-relational, and that they see you as wanting to get involved into your company. So that's step number 1 for sure. Get involved. Make sure you are looking for those areas, those sections of opportunities within your particular organization or company, and get involved. This may, This may really involve some after work stuff. This may involve some like before your shift starts type of stuff. This may even allow you the opportunity to be the lead of the ERG for your local chapter, for your local unit. You know what I mean? You want to make sure, remember you guys, we're trying to mitigate the two questions. The two questions are who and why. Who and why. If you get involved, everybody knows the who, right? Okay, let's move on. So the third way, so we just talked about 4, 3 is now, right? So this one's slightly more important than the last one, but they're all 4 super important. So the third one is to preserve transparency. Now I have kind of nicknamed preserve transparency as humble brag. Now, why in the world would you even want to brag about yourself? Because people like to make it seem like if you're talking about yourself, if you're talking about your accomplishments, you're bragging. And this is just unacceptable, honey. This is just unacceptable. No. For the third nugget, to mitigate the who and why question, you have to preserve transparency. And in an effort to preserving transparency, you have to make sure that you are doing a humble brag. So an example of this is anytime you're working on a task or a project, right? You need to be sending communication to whoever your team is, whoever your manager is, whoever your leadership is, whoever knows that you're working on this project or doesn't know. Whoever needs to know that you're working on this project, they need to be receiving consistent communication from you. And when I say that, I don't mean they need to be receiving an email from you every single day. Today I sent the order in. Today I received the order. We're not talking about that. We're talking about high level milestones that have been achieved in your particular task or project. You need to make sure that you are consistently communicating that, whether that is in your weekly or daily meetings and your weekly recap email, end of day email, I don't care. Whatever it is, you need to preserve transparency, because you guys know that phrase, perspective is everything, right? If people perceive you as not doing anything and perceive you as not working when actually you are, that's a problem. Remember the two questions that we're trying to mitigate, who and why. Who and why. So if you preserve transparency and you kind of give yourself a humble brag in regards to all of the different projects and tasks that you were on, no one's going to be asking about the why, honey, because they're going to know, because you've been giving them consistent milestone updates throughout the entire process. So the thing about the humble brag is that it's not all about you. Here's the caveat with the humble brag. The humble brag in regards to keeping people updated on your task or on your project is all about how it's going to make their lives easier. Okay? So will this help the company? Will this help your department? Will this bring in more money? Will this alleviate stress or a workload for your manager or for your colleagues? Who is this task going to help? Who is this project going to help? Who will this affect once you finish? These are the types of things that we want to preserve transparency on, and that we want to make sure we're humbly bragging on ourselves about, okay? So make sure every time you complete a sizable, actionable, high-level milestone, you talk about, what does this really mean for the team? What does this really mean for the company? What does this mean for our budget? What does this mean for our marketing? Why do I care? As someone reading the email, why should I care? Past just being your manager and past just being your coworker, why should I care about you finishing this project? Make sure you guys preserve transparency. Make sure you guys do a humble brag. So once you get involved, okay, that's the who. You got the preserving transparency and doing the humble brag, that's the why, because we can see your actionable steps toward realizing the finalization of this particular project or task. So before we get to the last two nuggets, I want to make sure that you guys take the time to subscribe down below. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so that you never miss another video on more Mondays or Fridays again. And you already know you got to drop me some likes. If you know anyone who is trying to excel in their career, make sure you guys share this video, you send it to them, you text it to them right now, because somewhere across the world, somebody needs to hear this message. So let's talk about the second one. So we're almost at number 1, right? So obviously number 1 is going to be like the most important. Number 2, you need to be dependable. You need to be dependable. You need to be dependable. If you commit yourself to a specific task or project, especially by a certain date, you need to be dependable enough for your team, for your manager, for your organization, for your company to depend on you to get it done. If you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you're not dependable. period. Now, this is such an interesting concept because this concept actually crosses over into personal lives for people too. So how you act in your personal life will a lot of times show up in your professional. Now, a lot of times people are really good with putting that wall up and being like, this is me at work, this is me at home. Okay, but we want to make sure that we remember the whole More Life mantra. This isn't a mantra about being fake. This is a mantra about being your true, authentic, real, elevated self at all times, at all platforms, in all scenarios, in all situations, around everybody who's around you. Be dependable. Be where you said you were going to be when you said you were going to be there. Do what you said you were going to do, okay, without any excuse. Y'all, this is, like I said in the beginning, this video is not for the weak. This video is not for people who love to make excuses. Anyway, this video is not for the faint of heart. This video is not for the easily offended. Because here's the thing, when we talk about six-figure pay, when we talk about yearly promotions, when we talk about elevating on a global economic scale in regards to your company, your organization, whoever, whatever you do, it's going to take some out-of-the-box actions. It's going to take some above mediocre, above average actions. No longer can you not be dependable. No longer can you allow your word to kind of be swept under the mat when you didn't do what you said you were going to do. So you need to be dependable, point blank, period. So remember when we first talked about getting involved, that's going to mitigate the who question. And then we talked about remaining, preserving transparency and keeping that humble brag, which is going to mitigate the why. And now we're talking about being dependable, which is another little addition to the why. You know what I'm saying? Because anytime somebody brings up your name, they need to automatically, intangibly attach dependability with it. Now, you and I both know that there are some people out there, the moment you say their name, you know they're going to give you an excuse for something because that's just who they are. Some people are just filled with excuses. You don't want to be that person. When something goes wrong, you need to be the first person that you look at. Not your manager, not your colleagues, not the process. I don't care. You need to take on self-responsibility, self-accountability, and that's how you're going to be exposed to these six-figure paying C-level positions. I mean, you guys have to know that these large companies are not checking for nobody who's giving up a buttload of excuses. They're just not. So be dependable. Do what you say you're going to do, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, and where you're going to do it. And just do it. So we've come to the Holy Grail. We've come to the final nugget of how to achieve, elevation in your career and how to get the six-figure pay, how to get the position, how to get the leverage, how to get that, okay? That, whatever that is for you. This is the most important nugget of achieving all that. I have to say that. I know that is a very aggressive and abrupt and very, straightforward phrase, but this is the most important nugget. The most important nugget is delivering on your expectations. Delivering on your expectations. So how is delivering on your expectations any different than being dependable? So being dependable, you are where you say you were going to be, you did what you say you're going to do, this, that, and the third, but what if you didn't really do that good of a job? What if you got it done on time, but you got typos here, you got whatever here, inaccurate information here? The expectation was for you to be accurate, concise, precise, and on time. And so if you're missing some of that, then you're not delivering on your expectations. So you need to make sure that everything that has your name attached to it is going to be top notch, is going to be done according to the expectations that you, your colleagues, your organization are expecting for you to deliver it on. Remember that second nugget of preserving transparency in the humble brag? There will be nothing for you to preserve transparency on if you don't deliver on your expectations, okay? You have to deliver on your expectations to even have something to have a humble brag about. You have to deliver on your expectations to even receive the opportunity to get involved in the ERGs. You have to deliver on your expectations to even be seen as being dependable. It's important to know your specific job, your specific duties, your specific, the skill set that you're supposed to have in this whatever position that you have. Reviewing your job responsibility is not a way to be like, oh, this isn't my responsibility, this is Susie's. You know, this isn't my responsibility. This is Tim's. People love doing that. People love casting off responsibility. Don't be passing the buck. Don't be passing a responsibility. Look at what you are supposed to be doing and see how you can add value to that. See how you can make that more robust. See how you can take that up another notch. So these are the 4 ways that I have literally been like recycling these 4 ways in every single position I've had since graduating college, which has been like three positions, but this one is the one that I plan on and work towards staying in for like a long-term career. And these 4 strategies are it, y'all. The getting involved, the preserving transparency / humble brag, the being dependable, but honey, the most important, you got to deliver on those expectations. And if you need help delivering on the expectations, that's a completely different video. But these are the 4 ways that you and I can definitely be elevated in our careers and be looking at 6-figure pay, yearly promotions, exposure, all that kind of stuff. You know, more responsibility, you know, more people for us to lead. These are the ways that we can do that. So if you guys like these tips, make sure you subscribe, you comment, you like, you share, you do whatever you need to do, okay, to show some love on this video. Until next time, here's some more life, more food, and always more travel. I'll see you guys on the blog.